Imagine a wet, miserable Sunday afternoon where the power goes out, the Wi-Fi dies, and you are trapped inside your house. Within 2 hours, you are probably pacing the halls, sighing with extreme boredom and complaining about having nothing to do. Now take away your insulated walls, your dry drywall, and your modern heating. Replace them with a cold stone cave. Put a screaming, predator-filled forest right outside your door and make it rain relentlessly for 7 days straight. Prolonged rain was not just an inconvenience for our ancestors, it was a high-stakes survival crisis. So, what did ancient humans actually do when it rained all week? And how did they survive the damp, the cold, and the ultimate test of prehistoric cabin fever? When the sky opened up and refused to close, the tribe's single most important priority was keeping their fire alive. Without dry wood, a fire goes out. And in a damp, freezing environment, no fire means hypothermia. Before the rain began, our ancestors would store piles of dry wood inside their shelters. But after 3 or 4 days of relentless downpours, those dry wood reserves would run dangerously low. To save their embers, they used a brilliant thermodynamic trick. Instead of burning large, woody fires, they kept a tiny low-oxygen coal bed alive by feeding it slow-burning animal bones, fat, or dry pine pitch. Bones are rich in marrow, which burns like a candle, keeping an ember glowing for days with almost no wood. But keeping a fire burning inside an enclosed cave for a week straight created a new hazard: smoke. Caves do not have chimneys. After a few days, the air inside a rock shelter became thick, heavy, and highly irritating to the lungs. Our ancestors had to retreat to the very front of the cave to breathe, where they were exposed to the damp, cold wind, or head deep into the back chambers, where the air was stagnant. And as the days wore on, the humidity would seep into everything. The moss and fur bedding became damp, breeding mold and mildew. To stay dry, they relied on prehistoric biohacking, rubbing thick animal fats, like tallow or grease, directly into the seams of their leather cloaks to act like a natural, waterproof barrier. Once survival was secured, they faced their next great challenge: the psychological strain of being trapped together in a small space. Prehistoric cabin fever was a very real biological threat. To keep the peace and prevent social friction, they had to stay busy. They spent their days on indoor maintenance. They sat around the glowing embers, repairing torn leather clothing with bone needles, weaving watertight baskets, and meticulously carving flint spearheads. But they also used the rainy week to create some of our very first masterpieces of art and music. Many of the world's most famous cave paintings, located deep inside dark, inaccessible chambers in France and Spain, were likely created during prolonged storms, when outdoor hunting was impossible. Armed with simple stone bowls of animal fat fuel and charcoal paint, artists spent the rainy days transforming the dark cave walls into sacred galleries of leaping bison and running horses. Others would sit by the fire, playing simple, haunting melodies on flutes carved from hollow bird bones, or playing games of chance with simple animal knuckle bones. A week of endless rain was a reminder of their fragility, but it was also a vital cultural incubator. It forced our ancestors to slow down, huddle closer, share their food, and talk. They didn't just survive the storm. They used the quiet, dark space inside the cave to build the languages, the art, and the deep social connections that made us human. The next time you find yourself stuck indoors on a rainy afternoon, try to appreciate the quiet gap in the schedule. You are participating in an ancient human ritual, waiting out the storm, safe inside with the people closest to you.